Okay, I ran out of time on my structural lens frame part 1. Therefore, we are going to call this part 2, and it starts at this slide called Planning and Control Systems, which I think is an important part of the structural lens because it goes right into what makes up the building blocks of an organization, and it's also what we often see that is changed in an organization. So internal control systems, how do we do business within the organization? So here's all different kinds of things that are usually set up, predefined when we come into an organization. It's also as leaders turn over in an organization, it's what is often changed. So things like the selection criteria of employees, supervision and supervision structures of an employees, the personnel evaluation, how are evaluations done and carried out, the training and staff development, how is that done, do leaders support that, how are rewards and incentives handed out, how about accountability, output, and quality measures, where because oftentimes what gets measured is what gets done in organizations. How is program assessment carried out? And also, how is decision making made within organizations? Who gets to make the decisions? Who gets to decide what factors go into the decisions, i.e., so if there may be actually 10 choices, but you're only given 2, who gets to decide on those 2 factors, and do you get a vote? So several things around structure that involve decision making. And then control of resources. So the idea that time is money, and so who controls the money? Who controls the information? This is when our quote-unquote tech people have a lot of power in organizations, but also they make up part of the structure and also often get to decide who gets what information. Also, the skills are often controlled because leaders can decide who gets trained more. Time is a resource. How much time, who's given time to do extra this or not that. How calendars are handled is also a control of resources. And then finally, schedules. When something is scheduled, how long it gets scheduled for, things like that. So when somebody leads from the structural frame, and you'll find as you go through each one of the frames / lenses, that one of them or 2 of them, you'll find that you relate better to these. And you'll say, well, I really understood this lens, but not these other 2. So this means that you would probably make a good leader in the frame. So if you were leading from the structural frame, the concept behind it is that organizational problems originate from inappropriate structures or inadequate systems and can be resolved through restructuring or developing new systems. So again, if you come with a strong understanding of the structural lens, it's kind of nice because it does take people out of the picture. And once all the people are taken out, you're just looking at positions, you're looking at policies, you're looking at procedures, you're looking at how things get done and where and when they get done, but nothing about individuals, humans, groups within the organization, which all those will come up in our next lenses / frames. Thank you so much. Oh, God, one last one. So the idea that organizations must have resources, or you end up with a failed infrastructure. So an organization has to have slack resources in order to innovate because, well, slack resources are discretionary over and above what you need just to get the job done. And over time, if you only have what you need to get the job done, there's no innovation that goes on, and there's the idea that you can't look up, you can't try different things, none of that happens. So slack resources really are important in organizations. Now I think I'm done. Thank you very much.